Hello and welcome to Manners on the Go. I trust your week has been beautiful and I hope you're minding your manners as well. Actually talked about how our mother tongue has interfered with the way we speak English.
Exactly. And I also hope that our guests have not been saying awesome.
Awesome. It's awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So we're going to take that conversation forward today, Ify.
Manners on the Go.
Hello and welcome to Manners on the Go. I trust your week has been beautiful and I hope you're minding your manners as well. I hope everything is all right, and if it's your first time today, you're welcome. I can assure you that this will be a great use of your time. Last week we had a guest. Were you excited about it? Ifunanya Emeka-Onu was here last week. She gave me permission to call her Ify, so Ify all the way. Ify, welcome. So if you're joining us for the first time, Ifunanya Emeka-Onu is a diction and English communication certified
diction in English
expert. And she's here again with us today. I needed to get that right because, I mean, look at the guests we have on the show. So last week we actually talked about how our mother tongue has interfered with the way we speak English.
Exactly.
And we went to the south and the east and the west and the north, and that was when I knew that it is pleasure, not pleasure.
Not playo.
Not playo. And pressure. Not
pressure and not prayer. And I
Good.
also hope that our guests have not been saying awesome.
Awesome. It's awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, so she's corrected us and I hope that you've learned and you're correcting yourself. And you know, we concluded by saying we must be proud of our mother tongue. We're not saying begin to copy Britons or Americans.
Saying bottled water.
Borrow water, in it. Lira. No, be proud to say bottled water, be proud to say later, and you know, just be proud to speak your language, but allow it not to, or do not allow it to interfere with the way you speak. Because there are some places you get to and they might need to transcribe what you're saying, and you really don't want that. You want to speak as clearly as possible. So we're going to take that conversation forward today, Ify, and let's talk about all of those wrong expressions around here.
Okay.
Things that we hear and we cringe. Yes.
Before then, there's this particular word that I get to hear a lot of arguments about.
Okay.
And that's the word spelt, R-O-U-T-E.
Okay.
I'll spell the word again, R-O-U-T-E. Now, you'd observe that I'm not saying R or R. That's because that particular letter, the name of the letter is R, like an exclamation.
Okay.
So you say the letter R and not the letter R or the letter R.
Or Aru?
Aha, exactly. Now, some people say you should say route. Others say route. Which do you say, Tosin?
I think it is root. I think route sounds really funny, but I hear that a lot actually.
Okay.
So which is correct?
Interestingly, both pronunciations are correct.
See.
Yes, you can say route, you can also say route. The only difference is route is British English,
Okay.
while route is American English.
Okay.
Now, personally, I prefer to say route, and that's because in Nigeria, we're colonized by the Britons.
Okay.
So it's only practical and only correct for us to speak the British English.
Okay.
Now, so you should say route and not route. But if you prefer to say route, both pronunciations are correct.
Okay.
And that also brings me to public holiday.
Okay.
Public holiday is American English.
Really?
Exactly.
Okay.
The right thing, if we claim to have been colonized by the Britons, we should say bank holiday. Public holiday and bank holiday mean same thing.
Really? No, but that public holiday has come to stay. Bank holiday
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
So you see, that's just the
that's
difference.
interesting.
Yes. So, I mean, if an organization says that they speak and write the British way, then they should put out circulars or memos to say, oh, a bank holiday has been declared, and not a public holiday has been declared.
Interesting. Okay. So let's look at other expressions, those things we hear every day and we're just wondering where is this coming from. There's a particular one, CHA, CHAMPAGNE.
Okay, that's champagne.
Why is it champagne? Is it not the chi sound?
Now, the English language has what is called digraph.
Okay.
When we say digraph, we're talking about two letters that give a particular sound in a particular word.
Okay.
Digraph. Two letters that give a particular sound in a particular word. Now, the letters C and H are two letters. The letters C and H can give you the sound ch, like in chair,
Yes.
chocolate. The letters C and H can also give you the sound sh. Now look at this everyday word, M-A-C-H-I-N-E. M-A-C-H-I-N-E. We don't say machine. Do we say that?
Machine.
What do we say?
Machine.
We say machine. So you have the letter C and H in that word. It makes the sound sh. The same thing in the word champagne.
Okay.
You also have the letters C and H making the sound sh in that word. So you say champagne and not champagne.
Okay.
And then you also have a very popular multinational organization in Nigeria that also has the letter C and H in their name. People give it the sound ch rather than saying sh.
Okay.
Then where you also keep your baby, if you have a baby and you have to go to work or you have to do some things, you keep your baby in a creche, not a crèche.
Interesting. So how do you know which one you should say chi to and which one you should say sh to? And I think there are some that, if I'm not mistaken, aren't there others that pronounce k and it's C and H?
Yes. Now,
no example is coming to
you
mind
have
right now.
no. For that one, I think you have the letter C. When the letter C makes the sound k, that's in a word. No, the letter C making the sound ch. That's in a word like cello. That's a piece of musical instrument. Now, people ask me that question a lot of times. So, Ify, when do I know I should say sh? When do I know I should say ch? And the answer is not an easy one to come by. What I always say is that just learn a lot of the everyday words. Remember that the last time we met, I told you that I came across a quote on the internet. I think Marilyn von Savon. Okay. She was one who said it. She said, be able to correctly pronounce the words you'd like to speak. As a professional, you must be able to correctly pronounce the words you like to speak and have excellent grammar. So all of the everyday words, just be sure that you're very conversant with the accurate pronunciations. And then when you get to do it over and over and over again, when you also identify great speakers or great news readers, we also have excellent news readers here in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
So you listen to them and listen to how they pronounce their words and learn to use those words. If you do not know what those words mean, just quickly Google it and not Google, please.
Okay, Google and not Google.
Not Google or Google.
Google.
You Google it, know how the word is pronounced, and you use them in your everyday conversation. Before you get to know it, it becomes part of you. Fantastic. And you use the words regularly.
Okay. Are there other words coming to you right now that
yes.
you need to correct?
One of the cutlery that we use in eating. Did you notice I said one of the cutlery? Now, whether singular or plural,
it's
cutlery is cutlery.
There's nothing like
yes,
cutleries.
There's nothing like cutleries.
Sets of cutleries.
No.
It's absolutely
yes,
wrong.
what you have is set of cutlery. Whether you're writing or speaking, cutlery is cutlery. And that's word spelled F-O-R-K. F-O-R-K. Can you guess what that word, how that word is pronounced? Did you say feck? If you said feck, please stop it. That word is pronounced as fork. Can we say it together? Fork. Because when you look at the letters O and R is pronounced as O.
Okay.
Do you understand? And then when you even open your dictionary, look at another reason I forgot to mention why a lot of us speak the way we do is because we don't have the ability to interpret phoneme symbols.
Okay.
So in simple language, look at the word all in the dictionary, A-L-L. Look at the first symbol that represents the letter A. I mean, all is what everyone knows how to pronounce, A-L-L. So you say all. The first symbol you have in A-L-L, go look at F-O-R-K. And you also get to see that symbol in between the sounds F and K.
Okay.
So we should say fork, and not feck. Now, a lot of people actually say feck because they don't want to pronounce, the negative F word. But even then, the negative F word is not even pronounced as fork.
Okay.
So F-O-R-K is pronounced as fork and not feck. I'm sure that even our listeners, if they don't remember any other thing we have said on this episode, they would know
they should remember
yes,
that, absolutely.
that fork is pronounced as fork and not feck.
Pass me the feck. So you've heard that. It is fork, F-O-R-K, and not feck.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the greetings for the day, shall we?
Okay. Like when you say good morning. So a lot of us say good morning. In the last episode we talked about giving all the words, all the sounds equal stress and everything, and that's why majority of us say good morning. Now, even the word spelled G-O-O-D is not pronounced as good. It is not good. What you say is good.
Good.
Yes. So the letters.
Good.
So I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. You can say that again. This Ekiti girl can speak.
So we say good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, that's what you say. You say good morning and not good morning. So you say things like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That's what you say.
Goodbye.
Good night. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So you see, when you say these things over and over and over again and regularly, it just becomes a part of you, and no one can take it away from you. Then we also have, since schools have, our schools are back, or some of them are yet to resume, we have mothers giving their children vitamins and not vitamins.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me something. So it's vitamins.
Yes, vitamins.
Whether it's American or
British. Yes, what you say is vitamins and not vitamins. That's the right thing to say. And then when you also want to describe someone using the word capable, you say capable and not capable. You say capable and not capable. And when I want to describe you, I will say, Tosin is an epitome of grace. Not epitome of grace. An epitome of grace. So we have a lot of those words, but like I mentioned the other time, just identify great speakers and listen to how they pronounce their words, and just repeat after them and pronounce their words. Pronounce words the way they also pronounce their words.
Absolutely. So you cannot want to learn to speak well and you're not listening to great speakers. I'm taking that away as a big lesson for me. So if I want to get better at the way I speak, did I just say better? If I want to get better, look at what Ify has done to me. If you want to get better at speaking, listen to great speakers. You can't but listen to great speakers. That's just the way to get better. And then, I came across this dictionary, a pronunciation dictionary that helped me a great deal. Because as a matter of fact, when I knew that I would become a trainer, I realized that I had the H factor. And I really had to learn it. One way that I did was I would put my palm in front of my mouth, and you see all those words that have been adding H. You feel the warmth on your hand and I didn't pronounce this well. So, when I say hopen, feel it on your palm with the H, hopen. You feel that warmth.
The air comes out.
Because you're aspirating. But when I put my palm or I put a mirror in front of my mouth and I pronounce all of those words without the H and I don't feel that warmth, then I know, yes, you've done it. Tosin, you've done it. And that was why I began to learn, because I didn't want the situation where I would get on stage to speak and I would say, thank you very much. All right, you can have your seats. So you can actually decide that you want to be a better speaker. And that's the essence of what we're talking about
today.
So Ify, before we round off this segment, I want us to see if you can remember a few words that we can correct just before we go.
Okay, an everyday word that has come to my mind is the word spelled H-E-I-R. H-E-I-R. Now, I also said H. I did not say H or H. And that's because for the name of that letter, you do not aspirate.
Okay.
You know, for the sound, you aspirate. But when you're saying the name of the letter, you do not aspirate. So the word is spelled H-E-I-R.
Okay.
Now, because the word has a letter H, a lot of people believe that you should aspirate when you're saying that word. So you get people say it like hair to the throne. No, it's the heir to the throne.
Okay.
So H-E-I-R and A-I-R are called homophones. Homophones are words that have same pronunciation, different spellings, but different meanings.
Okay.
So you have H-E-I-R pronounced as air. Then you also have the air that we breathe in.
Okay.
A-I-R, we also say air. Did you get
Absolutely.
that?
Yes.
So when you want to pronounce a word that spells H-E-I-R, you don't say hair. What you say is air. That's because the letter H in that word is silent.
Okay.
Then we also have another everyday word, and that's the word research.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people say research.
Research.
Now, research is a noun. Research is a verb.
Oh, okay.
You know, we have some English words that have same spellings, but some of them double both as nouns and as verbs. Like you have objects and objects.
Resort. And resort.
So you see, you have some words that way. So you have to identify which of them is a noun and which of them is a verb. If you're saying research, that's a noun. Then you also have record and record.
Okay.
Now, I need to say this clearly. When you have record, record is a noun.
Okay.
And we say that a noun is the name of any person, animal, place, or thing. So we have record and record. Like you have a record label. That's a noun. That's a thing. And then you have record. Maybe you're recording marks or you're recording sales in your business, whether profit or loss or something. Now, that's a verb. No, that's an example. When you're recording your sales, like you're putting it in writing or maybe on a device or something. That's a verb. Now, the past tense of the verb should be pronounced as recorded. Recorded and not recorded.
Okay.
Because the verb is pronounced as record. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
So a lot of us actually make, those mistakes. Did you also get to hear that I said mistake and not mistake?
Mistake. And interestingly, it sounds like
that's the correct thing to say.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, I made a mistake. No,
but that's wrong.
That's wrong. It's I made a mistake.
Mistake and not mistake. Yes.
Okay.
Then you also have the month July. It's July and not July. That's also wrong. Yes, you say July and not July. So there are some of these words that we pronounce accurately.
Okay.
But we feel that, it is wrong to say, maybe we feel that it doesn't sound
right
when we say when we say mistake or when we say July. We feel that it sounds accurately when you say things like mistake or July. No,
mistake.
That's wrong. Yes. Another everyday word is the word issue or issue. What do you say, Tosin?
Issue. Is it an issue?
Now, some people say issue while others say issue.
Okay.
Both pronunciations are correct.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so I better stick with issue. I mean, issue, what?
Sometimes
doesn't sound right.
I was telling someone that when you say issue, it's like it sounds from a particular tribe
Yeah.
in Nigeria. But you can say issue, you can also say issue. Both pronunciations are correct. So
That's
feel free
interesting.
to choose whichever one you want to use.
Hey, issue all the way. So let's talk about English names
Okay.
that we don't pronounce well.
Aha.
Oh, when I say English names, some of them are Hebrew names, but we don't
Okay.
pronounce them well. Something like the name Joseph. Is it Joseph? I've heard people say Joseph. Which is the right one?
Now, you see, when it comes to names, yes, the English language has, the recommended pronunciation, and then you also have some Hebrew names like Naomi. But some people would rather prefer to be called in a particular way.
Okay.
I once had a colleague, his name is spelled Caleb,
Okay.
and everyone knows that the pronunciation is Caleb. Yes, that's even what the dictionary says. But he says he doesn't want to be called Caleb. He rather prefers to be called Caleb.
Caleb.
Yes.
Interesting.
So when it comes to names, I always say that, it depends on what people want to be called.
Okay.
Now you have Deborah. Deborah is a Hebrew name. You also have the name also in the English language. You don't say Deborah, you say Deborah. But if someone says that, for my own name, I want to be called Deborah, please go ahead and call them
Okay.
Deborah. When it comes to names, I really, really do not like, to be very rigid or strict, because people have different ways in which they want their names to be pronounced. Yes.
Okay. And yeah, we've talked about pronunciation today. So it's pronunciation,
Yes.
not pronunciation.
Exactly.
That needs to be corrected.
But then you have pronouns.
Pronouns.
Yes. But when it becomes a noun, that's when you add the suffix ion, it becomes pronunciation.
Not even none.
Yes.
None.
None. Yes.
Pronunciation.
Yes, pronunciation.
Wow.
That's the correct thing to say.
Okay, so if we could go on and on and on and on. I'm actually enjoying this conversation. And I know we can't finish it in 24 hours, but
Oh, sure.
I'll just like us to bring it to a close here. Ify is a superstar, so you can always check out. I mean, all you need to do is Google her name if you need a contact, and she'll be right there to support you. But before we go, I'll just like you to tell us that, yes, you've talked about how important this is, but I don't want people to go about and then they become mute, because now they're very careful about the way they speak. So what do you have to say to that?
Now, in speaking rightly, you do not need to lose your authenticity.
Absolutely.
I'm Igbo. I speak Igbo, I speak Yoruba, and I speak Pidgin. I dey speak Pidgin, oh, forget all this for never we dey speak since. Aha.
I trust
But if you
you.
have to speak English language, then you have to be sure of pronouncing your words correctly.
Okay.
Marilyn Vonta once said, be able to correctly pronounce the words you would like to speak. I'll take it again. Be able to correctly pronounce the words you'd like to speak and have excellent grammar. This is one of the great qualities of being a professional. So if you claim to be a professional in your field, then you must be able to communicate very well. And be sure that you, like we mentioned the other time, we don't want to start speaking like Americans or like Britons, or maybe you're not sure of exactly what you're going to say again, so I just want to keep my mouth shut. No, speak. And when someone who knows the right thing gets to hear you, you never can tell. That'll be an avenue for you to learn how to pronounce that particular word.
Absolutely. The more you speak, the better you get. Thank you so much, Ify, for gracing our chair again. And I hope that someday we'll be able to bring you back to talk about more things. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please engage me in the comments. And I'd like you to also tell me those words that you come across every day that you're not sure people pronounce well. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Like this, share with your friends, hit the subscribe icon if you haven't done so yet, and see you again next week. Goodbye.
Manners on the go.